Welcome back. I am Dr. Ruckus, and today we are playing Mono Green Aggro in Brothers War Standard. We got a lot of great new cards added to the deck. Number one is the Teething Wormlet, a 1-mana 1/1. It has Death Touch as long as you control 3 or more artifacts. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life, but more importantly, if this is the first time this ability has resolved this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Teething Wormlet. Yep, classic mono green 1-drop where it grows every turn, except this time it is themed around artifacts. And this is going to be a great addition to this deck as long as you run any number of artifacts, and there are a lot of good ones to run, as we'll get to shortly. In the 2-drop slot, we have the Root Wire Amalgam. Could be played as a 5-mana 5/5, but more often you'll probably just drop it as a 2-mana 2/3 on curve. You can later, if you want, pay 5, sack it, create an XX colorless golem artifact creature token where X is 3 times Root Wire Amalgam's power. It gains haste until end of turn, activate only on sorcery. So if it is a 2/3, you can pay 5 to turn it into a 6/6. If it is a 5/5, you can pay 5 to turn it into a 15/15 haste. So that seems good. But most of the time, it's probably just a 2-mana 2/3, curves out well, powers up the Wormlet, and maybe you can transform it later. In the 3-drop slot, we have access to the Simian Simulacrum, a 3-mana 2/1, but when it enters the battlefield, put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. You can put it on itself to make a 3-mana 4/3, which is just fine. You can also put it on your 2-drop to jam in for a ton of damage, right? If you go Beast Caller into Simian, first it becomes a 3/3, and then you dump 2 more counters on it, then it's a 5/5 on turn 3. That's pretty good. It also has Unearth, so if it's in the graveyard, you can pay 4, bring it back to the battlefield. It has haste, and you get that +2/+2 counters again on something else. Solid card all around. We also have the Clay Champion. Pay 4 and an X to make a 2/2 at its base cost, but for every green you spend to cast it, put 3 +1/+1 counters on it. So if you use 2 greens, you get a 5/5. If you use 4 greens, you get an 8/8. That's a big boy. A 4-mana 8/8 is a big boy. That's a mono green powerhouse right there. So this is a solid card. It does play slightly awkwardly with Mistress Foundry, and we'll probably have to tweak things a bit to find the correct balance. This is a great card in every single aggressive deck. But it's interesting that it doesn't play well with this card, right? If you have 1 Foundry and 3 Great Lands in the first 4 turns, which is pretty reasonable, you actually don't get to drop an 8/8. You only get to drop a 5/5. I know, 4-mana 5/5 sounds exciting, but it's not as exciting when you know you can get an 8/8 out of it. So it's possible you run fewer of these because really you only tend to need these in the late game to get across the finish line against a control deck. So maybe it's closer to 2 or 3, just so you can hit the Clay Champion more consistently as an 8/8 on turn 4. We'll have to see. Now, some other things going on with the deck. I still think 4 copies of Aggro of the Autumn belongs in the best mono green aggro deck until we get a ridiculously aggressive and strong 3-drop to replace Aggro of Autumn. This card just seals away so many games. If it can stick around and you get a couple turns of popping off, then it's game over. So I like this card still in the deck. We're running the Briar Bridge Tracker. It's essentially a 3-mana 4/3 with Vigilance, which is pretty good, but it also creates a token artifact clue, which pairs well with the Wormlet. That does trigger this, granting you more artifacts and giving it +1/+1. Gala Greeters, similarly, good at ramping, good at pumping out treasure tokens, which again pairs well with the Wormlet. Can also gain life, and the Gala Greeters plus the Augur of Autumn, 1, provides you with tons of mana to spend via the Augur of Autumn, and 2, allows you to gain 2 life every turn if you have this combo off. Numerous times I have had this combo, and against an aggressive deck that was about to win, I'm able to gain life every single turn off the Gala. Maybe race Flyers, so we don't have any reach creatures in the deck. The 2 life can be relevant, so this is a solid card as well. The only thing I am not sure about is the 5-drop Defiler of Vigor. 5-mana 6/6. It reduces the amount of green mana you have to pay to cast something if you want to pay 2 life. Whenever you cast a green permanent spell, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So we don't have infinite green permanents here. We have a lot of colorless green permanents. So it doesn't fit perfectly well in the deck. It is a fantastic finisher, and that if you deploy this on turn 5 and you drop anything on turn 6 and turn 7 that's green, it makes the board look devastating to the opponent. But you don't need it. You already have a finisher in the form of a 4-mana 8/8, right? So you don't necessarily need this. And you also have, of course, you can just play this as a 5-drop. A 5-mana 5, have that turns into a 15/15 haste. So you don't have to play the Defiler of Vigor. I'm pretty okay with it since we have sufficient ramp in the form of Gala Greeters and Augur of Autumn and 24 land. It makes perfect sense to run 2-ish 5-drops, but you could replace it with Ascendant Pack Leader if you want just a more aggressive start. You could replace it with Master's Rebuke or Bite Down for a little more instant speed removal. That's not a fight spell. It's just a straight deal damage equal to a creature you control's power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. There's some other things you could throw in here. I'm happy with the Defiler of Vigor, but you could totally tweak the deck a little bit to give it a different angle. So anyway, that's the deck. Enjoy the gameplay. Let's dive right in. The 2-drop's a little awkward, but it should be fine. Okay, Selesnya, and we had the 2-drop anyway. Feels good. Plus it's an artifact, so we pump the Wormlet. It's all working out just fine. Is it Selesnya enchantments? Yeah, probably. Luckily, since we've hit our 2-drop on time, we can jam in there for 2. +1 counter on the Wormlet, and whack him. Alright, down to 18. Third land into Visitor. Into Kami, okay. Well, we just play the Simian. We've got some decent attacks. Could put both counters on the Amalgam. Offer them some decent trades here. I think that's fine. I guess put the counters here. And attack with a 4-5 and a 3-3. When it takes it all drops to 11. The real question is, where do we use the tail swipe? Really depends on what they use this turn. Circle of Confinement, okay. Probably on the Amalgam, I suppose. And Bosiju as well, okay. So that's not the worst. Take action here. Grab a land. Okay. Attack with everyone. All right, sure. I think we're gonna go Simian or something into tail swipe this turn. Take out the Kami, I guess. Okay. Another Foundry. I think we'll just keep our green going. Yeah, this isn't actually massive, is it? We could just leave it as a 5-5 and pick off the Kami. It is a little bit awkward. That's our best option, sadly. So go manual taps here. They offer X equals 0. Okay. And we'll go ahead and tail swipe the Kami before combat. Yep, should be fine. Okay, swinging for 5. Yeah, so a little stuck on green. We kind of wanted one more green instead of the Mishra's Foundry in order to pay 2 sets of green to cast this, but that's okay. 5-5 is almost as good as a 8-8, I guess. Okay, they got some lifelink down. Still running the big green strategy. I guess it's you. Nobody has trample. Maybe it's on the clay champion. That's a little bit harder for them to remove. If they want to double block the Wormlet. Jump there, jump there. Okay. So I put the counters on the champion because there's a good chance they run 4 circles and they might not run as many 3-mana removal spells that can hit anything. And they can't target the clay champion with the circle because it's too expensive. Kami comes down. We're doing okay so far. They haven't popped off yet. Touch the Spare Realm. All right, so they have a removal option to pick off anything here. Probably the clay champion, but we'll see. Yep. Okay. And another chump blocker. Okay. They are stabilizing. Okay. That's not bad. It's going to be a big boy for sure. It's only going to be an 8-8, actually. That's fine. Yeah. There's no point in putting X into it, right? Because you only have 1 extra green. Sure. We didn't put any white into it, so it doesn't matter. Okay. We're getting in there with the 6/6 Death Toucher. Oh, it's only if you control 3 more artifacts. So we trade with a single Kami? I don't think so. I think we wait for Death Touch next turn. So that means no attacks here. This forces them to block. They just chump block with the Kami, right? Or the Spirited Companion. I don't think we lose the Wormlet and trade it for a Kami. We'll see how punished we get this turn. We're close to getting there, but the opponent is also very close to turning the corner. Okay, another enchantment. Okay. Colleague Readers, interesting. I mean, yeah, we'll throw that out there. We'll make more artifacts, I guess. Alright, so this is the critical question. Where are we putting this? Probably take the treasure token. So you're going to be... What? You're going to be an 8/8 Death Toucher. We want to force them to trade things... I think we put it on the Death Toucher. I think that's how we do it here. Okay, so now it's a 9/9 Death Toucher. That makes trading awkward. They could trade the Naturalist and the Visitor. The 8/8 gets in there. They could trade the Kami, one other thing. This guy's not getting any better. So I think it's just like this. I think that's all this turn. Okay. Show me your blocks. Let's see if they chump or trade. Looks like they will probably trade there. Okay, so we either take out the Naturalist or the Kami. I think it's probably the Kami. Just because we cannot, at a certain point, we cannot handle a giant creature. Even though it comes back, I know. But really, at some point, we just can't handle it. Yeah, I'm doing it like this. Okay, they go up 6. Unearth is gone. We're left over with a 9/9 Death Toucher. We do nothing. We hit more land. Okay, I guess we're just swinging in with a 9/9. We could power up both Mishra's Foundries. It's not that good. How does that work? They chump the Wormlet with a 2/2, and then they eat almost everything else. That's not that good. The other thing we can do is pump up the Assembly Worker to a 4/4. I think that's a bit better. They just eat it for free. It's probably not necessary. Nah, I'm taking that back. We're just going to go like this. Come for trade. They trade this time. Okay, trades it is. Sure. Sure. Okay, and here. They get the Kami back. I decided not to attack with this because it just runs into the 6/6 lifelinker anyway. For free. Okay. That is not it. This time we actually will attack, though. And we'll get in with the Simian as well. Looks like they have something here. They might have another Bosiju or something. We're not sure. Okay, they chump block there. We'll attempt to pump this. Make it a 4/4. Okay. All right, that worked out quite well for us. I think they're flooding out too. I mean, they did almost nothing last turn. Okay, touch the Spirit Realm. More removal. Exile the Simian so we cannot unearth it. Copy it, get both. Woof. Yep, all creatures gone. Take 3. We actually swing back for 4 this turn. Maybe more if we hit some kind of haste creature. We don't. We hit more land. Okay. But we're definitely getting in there. It's the same, I guess, if we attack with one or both. Okay, opponent drops a 3. I don't know if they needed to attack last turn. Nope, they don't do it this time. Augur of Autumn. I guess we trade with the Kami here. Trade one of the Mishra's Foundries. It's better than letting it grow every turn, that's for sure. Okay, here we come again. 2 blocks. They should double block, yeah. We have to take out the thing that can grow. Okay, make it a 4/4. Once the next enchantment dies, they do get back the Kami, but I don't think we can really afford to let that thing incidentally grow. The spirits, that's pretty bad. Lifelink, okay. We have a lot of great top decks. There are some absolutely massive creatures we can pull out here. Just a matter of drawing them and not land. Okay, that's one of them. That's what you call a big boy. So we go X equals 4 here. All right. 14/14. That's a card. No attacks. Okay, opponent now needs to top deck another Touch the Spirit Realm. They commune, they get a dig 4 for it. They only pick a land. The top 4 cards were all land. That's pretty bizarre. Okay. That turns on Coven. Oh, baby, let's go. Let's freaking go. Sure. Yeah. Woo! What a grind fest. 2 just massive creature decks going head to head. On the play in our semi-aggressive deck. No 1s or 2 drops. It's far from ideal. I'm not sure it's worth mulliganing. It's not like we have a perfect 1-2-3 win curve, really. If this were mono red, I might mull it to try to hit a perfect curve. But I don't think that truly exists, and we get lucky anyway. Drop the Greeters. And they tap out. Azorius Magecraft. Okay. Well, we'd like to... And if we hit more green, we could get the double counters on the Clay Champion. Maybe we don't play out the Foundry this turn. Tail Sweeping is now as interesting, but we trade off the Greeters. I guess we can actually do it like this. It comes in tapped, though. All right, well, we'll take the Treasure Token. And we're happy to offer the trade here, though they will not take it. Down to 19. They successfully slammed the Drake onto... I mean, we could have traded off both the Greeters and the Tail Swipe. Broker's Hideout. Okay. That's a little slow for this deck. Okay, they attack. The good news is they can hold open as much protection as they want. We've got some decent pressure on the way back. Simeon's not bad here. We probably wait till they tap out to Tail Swipe. We could hold on another turn to get an even beefier Clay Champion, for example. I think we tap you. Simeon's okay if they counter it, for example. So maybe go like this. Okay. We'll take more treasure still, I think is fine. We could even take the token. I'll take another treasure. We'll deal with damage another turn. And we'll attack and see if they tap out for some kind of trick. And then potentially Tail Swipe. Shore up. They're going to make it a 3/2 and give it hexproof. And then what, trade? That means they have one more spell, right? But if they have hexproof, we can't go for this anyway. Maybe we just let them take their trade and try to Tail Swipe a different turn. Because they have to have one more spell. Why would they make it a 3/2 and trade? If that's the outcome they want, then we just let it happen. Okay. So you have to have one more hexproof and destruction. It already has hexproof, so we can't target it with Tail Swipe. So if we had gone for the Tail Swipe, they would have done this anyway. So it would not have resolved. Yep, take that block. Nothing we can do about that. That's okay. And we'll end here. We could take the draw this turn if we really wanted to. We have plenty of mana around. Virtuoso is a pain in the ass at some point. We could attempt to fight now. We really want to see him tapped out, though. Could take the draw instead, I think. More land, okay. The tail swipe is really good. We'll play out the land. I think we'll play out the tracker before combat in case you need to fight with the tracker. Attempt attack here. Okay, they block. Sure, let it go. See their combat trick. And then we have double tail swipe in response. So they want to slip out the back. Yeah, we'll go for this now. Let's have you fight you. And if they have one more, we have one more tail swipe ready to go. Yep, they try again. They do get the card draw off. But at least we kill the thing. Okay, Drake is down. They got 2 cards out of the deal. It's not fantastic, but see if we can start to put some serious pressure on them. Would love just one more green to hit the double clay champion. We don't have to wait for it, but it would be nice. Actually, we can use the treasure for that. I forgot. It doesn't have to be a, we just have to spend green mana on it. Okay, let's see if they attack. Homestead Courage. They are. It now has Vigilance. We can probably chump block with the Simian. That's fine with me. Simian kind of useless and can come back from the graveyard later. Okay, past us. So we don't have enough green to do everything. We can just play out a giant clay champion. We're probably not going to attack into the double striker unless we drop the Simian before combat. I think I'd rather just drop a giant clay champion on them. So green here. Yep, auto tapper does it right. Pay 0. There's no reason to. Why does it want to pay with triple green? That's not correct, right? Cancel. Pay 0. Confirm 0. Pay with quadruple green. So that's pretty weird. I guess be careful about that. If you leave a comment, if you know what happened there. I sack the treasure token beforehand to create green mana. And then by the time I cast the clay champion, I only wanted to cast it for 3 green. And I don't know why that is. No attacks into the double striker. Probably try to trade off the clay champion next turn. And we'll take the draw this turn. And go Beast Caller Simian next turn. Homestead Courage, sure. So I guess if we block this, they're just going to give it indestructible, right? And then we lose our 8/8, and then we have no ability to get through. So this might just be a chumping with the tracker turn. I don't think they would offer this trade unless they have indestructible. So either take 10 or chump block. We'd probably chump here. Let's take a draw first, see what happens. A fight spell, for example, would be good information. Another one of you. Yeah, I think we take 1 chump here. We don't have enough mana to double Simian. We can go single Beast Caller, 1 Simian. Then do we attack into the indestructible? As a 10/10, it still does not survive indestructible. So I think we hold back yet another turn. And drop a Simian here. I think we do just want the biggest clay champion possible. Put the counters here. Again, we'll probably chump block with the Simian this turn. And again, I don't want to run into double striking indestructible. So I go no attacks here. Okay, Drake comes down. Maybe we should have prioritized picking off the Virtuoso on turn 4 or whatever. Tail swipe. So that changes some things. They have 3 cards in hand. I mean, we can make it a 12/12. That's pretty tough to get through with tail swipe ready to go as well. It's not bad. So I need to give it +1 and indestructible, which takes up 2 of their cards and 2 of their manas. It's good odds for us. It's not perfect, but it's okay. So we'll see if we can blow them out. They take the chump. Okay, so they do not have the resources available to pump it bigger. Let's see if they phase you out. It's about the back. That's okay. I think we try to take out the Virtuoso then. While we have the ability to. And we'll see if they have the removal, or sorry, the protection, but they might not. Wow, resolves. Okay, that was huge for us. That's probably game. I think it would take too much to build up another massive creature. Six lands, a lot for that deck. But I think we have them now. I think we should get there. Okay, looks like opponent is going to Salty Rope us, which is too bad. Yeah, they're just going to rope us out for the rest of the game. Damn, I mean, I thought it was a pretty good game. I think if I could go back, I would have removed not the Drake, but the Double Striker on turn 4 or 5 or whatever. Since I think if you're on the defensive and they have the flyer and it pecks every turn, then maybe that's the priority. But given that the Double Striker is the only thing that could really contend with our large creatures, that was maybe the better target when we had our double tail swipe turn earlier in the game. And the Salty Rope finishes. That's annoying. Don't do that. Just concede. It's fine. It was a good game. Whatever. On the draw. Yeah, we're going to need one more land to make this work, but Beast Color on turn 2. There's land. It's always good. Beast Color into Autumn sets us up close for a Coven. Ooh, spooky land. 5 colors. Okay. So they could have Binding immediately, I guess. We don't have to drop the Beast Collar on 2. We have plenty of land, though. Maybe it's fine. Normally, I might drop a less powerful target on 2 under the assumption that it gets removed. There's a decent chance we just straight up cast the 5-mana 5/5 this game. Herd Migration instead, though. Okay. Yes, they're definitely Domain. So we're thinking about Leyline Binding, thinking about the Sphinx, thinking about Drag to the Bottom. Could also be Zur enchantments. Man, I do love a good Augur. Yeah, we could, yeah, I love a good Augur. We drop the Simian next turn. I don't think there's any way to get Coven next turn. Because either we get a pair of 4/4s, or we get a 5/5 and 2 2/2s. Okay. Look at the top, I guess 5 cards. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest into the graveyard. Lose 2 life. Alright, well, let's learn something through the graveyard here. The Kami War. And a land. 2 lands. Kami War and 2 lands. Okay. Tap land. And tap out for Fable. So this is our turn to get things done. We can double spell this turn if we want to. Rootwire is a 5/5. It's not going to be bad, though. We've got so much gas, though. Maybe we do just do it like this. Beast Caller. Amalgam. We have Coven now. Jam in there for 7. And see if they have a board wipe. Our rebuild is so-so. I mean, Augur's good in general at rebuilding, but it'll be tough if they sweep somehow. We don't escape burn down the house, for example. But we're not sure what they run. Alright, 5th land. This is the turn to show me what's up. Nothing to reanimate, really. Unless they can get back the Kami War somehow. They attack. They need that extra mana. That's fine. If we had to sack someone, maybe it's you. They're going to sweep the board. They're going to sweep it anyway. Temporary lockdown. Okay. So they take all the 2-drops. We do have enchantment removal in the deck in the form of Bosiju, but that's kind of a long shot. They play out the briefcase. Okay. It's a good draw for them. Probably just start dropping Simians. Try to hit him for 4 here. Leyline Binding. All right, they're coming back. More Augurs to go, but if we see their top end before we can pop off with Augur, it's probably game over. They don't have anything good to copy yet, besides these 1/1 tokens. Shoulder's annoying, but not devastating by itself. We do have 28 life to play with. All right. I think we start here, try to hit land. We do. That's nice. And we're just going to play out as much as we can every turn. Okay, no attacks. They still don't have anything good to copy. We'll see if they can drop something good to copy this coming turn. There's stick here, so they have another Leyline Binding, I imagine. Or they could have the bounce spell, the either 1 blue or 4 total to put something on the bottom of the deck. Nope, another Binding. They don't pick off... I was going to say the Autumn. They're picking, though. This can be, what, a 6/6? I think I'd probably take the Autumn. They can always block with the Shouldred. It's all up to the Autumn. Okay, tap land. We're down to 2 cards. They can only copy the token. It's not that much. No attacks. They're just going to hold steady here. Okay. Lose the life. We have to keep pressing. I guess we could sack you, make a 6/6 and attack. Try to face them to trade off the Shouldred. They just chump block with infinite tokens, though, so I don't think that's the play. So manual taps here. And our game plan is to go back to the Autumn. Just top deck a bunch of land and creatures and get there. We hit land. That's pretty nice. 4/3 is good. Allows us to draw 2 and manipulate the top of our deck. So I'm in for that. And no attacks into the 4/5. It's a game. Who pops off first? Either they hit their top end or we pop off with the Autumn. We need a 3/3 to turn on Coven. We're not there yet. No. I mean, I guess it swept up their own Sheldred. Okay. All right. I mean, we're still in this, I guess. We can do double Simeon, I suppose, right? Okay, let's rebuild. That's funny. I guess they thought Sheldred was not going to stand up to Augur popping off. So they sweep the entire board. We'll see if they have a follow-up next turn. At least this doesn't die to the lockdown. I bet they run 4 of these, honestly. Very few 1 and 2 drops. And okay, land ain't it, but we can go land and power up. Okay. Let's see what you got. It's a lot of damage coming through. There's still 2 more Leyline Bindings left in their deck. But we're going to hit them real hard here. There's one of them. Take out the 6/5. Hit him for 8. Drop down to 5. Okay, it's a pretty good turn. It's not bad. We got 6 damage next turn on the board between the Simeon and the Foundry. They take a cycle. They're looking for answers. We might get there. Definitely funky game. Lockdown only hits the token. So that is game, unless they have a... That's it. That's game. Wow. Okay. Whew. Nice. Very weird, but pretty satisfying. Couple good back and forths there. Looks good to me. On the draw against Ruby. So far, mono white. So far, Azorius soldiers. All right. Well, we're in for a ride here. Start with the trackers. I think an Augur of Autumn would go a long way this game. We'll see what we can do. Sky Strike Officer. 3 mana, 2/3 flying. When it attacks, create a 1/1 soldier artifact creature token. No blocks. So, do we have to pick off one of these this turn? The 4/3 blocks pretty well. So I guess we try it like this. Okay. And probably just take the treasure. No attacks. Okay, just you. They make a 1/1. Fine. That's all for the turn. They hold open 3 open mana. They do have a legendary creature. They could have a Ganjo. We have the Augur, though. We win the long game with the Augur. So maybe that's the play instead. So we could start with an Augur, try to hit land. That's a little greedy. I think we just drop the Beast Caller first. We could also pick this off. I don't know this deck well enough to know what kind of removal they have yet. I think we tail swipe the Officer this turn and drop the Autumn using a land. So if we're going to do that, let's do it like this. Try to take you out. Okay, so they do have something here. Not sure what it is, though, unless it's just the Foundry holding priority, which it could be. But it seems like they're thinking about something. They let it go. Okay. And we drop the Augur this turn. And as long as the Augur sticks around, we're in serious business. But they actually run a counterspell in their Soldier's deck. Okay. Counter spell unless its control plays 1 for each creature you control. Interesting. 5/2. Yeah, nothing gets in there. That's too bad. Haven't played against this deck yet, so I'll have to keep that in mind now. I did not expect them to run counterspells. 2-mana counterspell in your aggressive Soldier's deck. Interesting. Still, we're doing okay here. Probably not going to jam in there with the 4/3. I guess we can. I just don't know what they have. More stick. So they do this, we have to pay 2 mana for it. We'll take the treasure still. I think the stick implies they have another one of these. So we'd have to pay X equals 2 and they would counter the Simian. I don't love that. I wish I knew this deck better. We don't have to attack with the tracker here. They could play... I don't know. If I was not recording, I would just go immediately look up what this deck does, and then we would know. But new decks in the format. Haven't mastered them all yet. Okay. So we can take the draw if we want. Lowers the tracker down to a 2/3, which isn't amazing, but draw's pretty good. Siege better, and that's very annoying, so we have to answer that. Okay. Make a 3/2 first striker. All right, we will take the draw here, because now we need a removal. Defiler of Vigor is very good, but it's only when we cast green permanents. The Clay Champion's also very good. Defiler of Vigor is disgusting early, though, so I think we just go like this. And hope to draw some green permanents. Keep going treasure. No attacks again. If we hit an Augur here and it survives, then it should be game. They scoop on that. Okay. Too bad. I want to see more what this deck does. I'll probably look it up after this game so I know next time we play it. On the play with the Wormlet. Seems good enough. No 2-drops, but we'll survive. Up against El Braco. Alright. Let's get it going. Tap land by the opponent. These Foundries are a little weird because we do have the Clay Champion that rewards you for having a lot of green on the battlefield. Normally you get the creature downs early. Ah. Okay. Enchantments it is. We'll get one of these down now. We can play out the Simian. It's more aggressive. We don't need the Augur just yet. Okay. Make a 4/4 worm. Down to 15. Naturalist, they make a 3/3 now. And a Weaver. All right. They have a 4/4. They attack, though. Okay, no blocks. More land. Autumn isn't turned on anyway, so we'll definitely go... Start with the forest. Play you out. I think we put it here. They want to trade off both creatures with the Wormlet. Are we okay with that? We're left over with a 4/3 against their 4. Maybe we don't want that. Maybe we just make the biggest Wormlet possible. I think I'm okay if they trade with the Weaver, because the Weaver into Circle of Harmony or whatever is brutal for us. Okay, they eat it all. So they go Circle of Confinement and then copy with the Weaver. Borrow time. Copy with the Weaver as well. Also pretty brutal. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Companion. Okay, take 9. Down to 9. He hit more land. That's not it. Play out the auger. Well, we have to survive one more turn. We've probably lost here. Do we want to chump with you? Maybe. Not much point in chumping the Kami. This thing is only a 5/5. Nah. Not gonna win that one.